When it comes to our homes, most of us view plants as mere decorations, an aesthetic touch to liven up a dull corner. But what if I told you that plants are more than that? That their presence has the potential to influence the energy, harmony, and even fortune in your life? It's not superstition. It's rooted in centuries of spiritual wisdom, particularly in Buddhist teachings, where everything in your environment holds energy. This isn't about blaming your peace lily for a bad day or thinking your cactus has sinister motives. It's about understanding the subtle energies around us. Buddhists believe certain plants bring abundance and positive energy, while others, well, they might be doing the opposite. Think of them as silent disruptors, draining the vitality of your space, blocking prosperity, and yes, even attracting poverty. Before you raise an eyebrow, let me ask you this. Have you ever walked into a room and felt uneasy for no apparent reason? Or found yourself constantly dealing with financial issues, arguments, or general unease despite your best efforts? The teachings suggest that your environment, down to the very plants in your home, could be contributing to this. This brings us to the 7 plants you should never, ever keep in your home. Not only because they might block wealth and happiness, but because they go against the flow of spiritual harmony that your home deserves. Each plant on this list has been linked, through ancient teachings and modern observations, to negative energy and misfortune. We'll explore the unique characteristics of these plants, the reasons they're considered inauspicious, and most importantly, how removing them could be the first step toward a brighter, more abundant future. Let's begin with the first plant and prepare to see your home's greenery in a whole new light. Section 2. Plant 1. Cactus, the thorny trouble. The cactus, with its striking appearance and low-maintenance nature, might seem like a perfect indoor plant. But Buddhist teachings and even feng shui practices suggest otherwise. Why? It's all about the thorns. Thorns are sharp, aggressive, and symbolic of obstacles. Having a cactus in your home can bring about misunderstandings, conflicts, and even financial struggles. The pointed needles are said to create an energetic spike in the atmosphere, disrupting the flow of peace and harmony. Think of them as invisible barriers that stop good fortune from entering your home. Here's an example. A woman I know, a staunch plant enthusiast, loved her collection of cacti. Her home was practically a museum of these prickly beauties. But over the years, she noticed a recurring theme: disagreements with her partner, constant setbacks at work, and an unexplainable sense of stagnation. A monk she met during her travels in Thailand advised her to get rid of the cacti and replace them with softer, more harmonious plants. The result? Within months, her personal and professional life began to improve. But before you toss your beloved cactus out the window, let's add a caveat. Not all cacti are bad. For example, some say that cacti placed outside the home, on a balcony or near an entryway, can actually act as protectors, warding off negative energy from entering. The key here is placement. Inside the house, especially in living areas or bedrooms, they're considered a no-go. If you're attached to your cactus and can't bear to part with it, consider moving it outside or gifting it to someone with an open outdoor space. After all, it's not the cactus's fault. It's just a matter of where it belongs. Let's move on to plant #2, and trust me, this one is going to surprise you. Section 3. Plant 2. Bonsai, the stunted growth symbol. Bonsai trees are undoubtedly beautiful. Their miniature artistic forms can make them the centerpiece of any room. But in Buddhist philosophy, bonsai trees symbolize something far less appealing: stunted growth. These tiny trees, meticulously pruned and confined to their small pots, reflect restriction. They represent a lack of expansion, stagnation, and even limitation in life. In the context of wealth and prosperity, this can translate into financial struggles or a ceiling on your success. The energy they bring is one of confinement, which might explain why some people notice a standstill in their progress after bringing one into their home. Here's an anecdote to illustrate this. A successful businessman in Japan was struggling to grow his ventures despite years of effort. A monk who visited his home pointed to the bonsai tree sitting on his desk and asked, "Why do you keep this symbol of limitation where you plan your success?" Taking the monk's advice, He removed the bonsai from his workspace and noticed a significant shift in his business fortunes soon after. Now I know what you're thinking. Bonsai trees are works of art, steeped in culture and history. How could they possibly bring misfortune? The answer lies not in the tree itself, but in what it represents. In a garden or a large outdoor space, bonsai trees can be harmonious. But indoors, especially in places tied to wealth and growth, like a study or living room, they can send the wrong energetic signals. If you own a bonsai, consider its placement carefully. And if you notice patterns of stagnation or limitation in your life, it might be time to move it out or gift it to someone who can place it in a more harmonious spot. Let's move on to the next plant on the list, a plant so common that its potential negative effects often go unnoticed. Section 4. Plant 3. Cotton plant, the deceptive beauty. The cotton plant is often admired for its soft, fluffy appearance, symbolizing purity and comfort. Many people bring it into their homes as a decorative element, thinking it adds a natural, rustic charm. But according to Buddhist teachings and feng shui principles, the cotton plant might not be as innocent as it looks. Cotton plants are said to carry the energy of emptiness and barrenness. After all, they are associated with fields of hard labor and, historically, struggle. Bringing them indoors is thought to invite a sense of lack or emptiness into the home. Over time, this could manifest as financial difficulties, unfulfilled goals, or even strained relationships. Consider this. A young couple I know decorated their new home with cotton stems placed in elegant vases. Their intentions were good. They wanted to add a soft, natural vibe to their space. However, they soon began noticing strange patterns. Arguments over trivial issues became frequent, and their finances seemed to drain inexplicably. After consulting a feng shui expert, they were advised to remove the cotton plants immediately. Almost like magic, the tension in their home started to ease, and their financial situation stabilized. The cotton plant's energy is not inherently bad, but its symbolism doesn't align with abundance, growth, or positivity. If you love the look of cotton decor, consider using synthetic or fabric imitations rather than actual cotton plants. These alternatives can carry the aesthetic appeal without the potential energetic baggage. And remember, this isn't about superstition. It's about aligning your surroundings with symbols that promote prosperity and happiness. Let's move on to the next plant, one that's often overlooked but carries significant spiritual weight. Section 5. Plant 4. Dead or dying. Plants, energy vampires. This might seem obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people keep dead or dying plants in their homes. Whether it's a neglected houseplant on the windowsill or a dried bouquet you can't bear to throw away, these withering greens are doing more harm than good. In Buddhist teachings, dead plants represent decay, stagnation, and failure. Keeping them in your home is akin to inviting negative energy to linger. They act as energy vampires, draining the vitality of the space and everyone in it. Think of it this way. Your home should be a place of life and renewal, not a shrine to what's lost or past its prime. Here's a real-life story. A friend of mine had a small indoor garden filled with once thriving plants. Over time, as life got busy, she stopped tending to them. They began to wither, turning her once vibrant space into a somber reminder of neglect. During this period, she experienced a series of unfortunate events: financial losses, poor health, and strained relationships. It wasn't until she removed the dead plants and replaced them with fresh, healthy ones that things began to turn around. If you have a dying plant, try to revive it. If it's beyond saving, let it go. And as for dried flowers or bouquets, while they might hold sentimental value, they symbolize the past. Replace them with fresh flowers or living plants that radiate positive energy and growth. As we move to the next plant on our list, prepare to rethink some of the most common greenery you might have thought was harmless. Section 6. Plant 5. Ivy, the creeping misfortune. Ivy is a classic favorite among plant lovers. Its cascading vines and lush greenery make it a popular choice for both indoor and outdoor spaces. But according to Buddhist teachings, ivy can carry a darker symbolic meaning when brought into the home. Ivy is a creeping plant, often associated with entanglement and restriction. Its growth pattern can mirror its energy. It clings, it spreads uncontrollably, and it can choke out other plants. In the context of your home, ivy can symbolize entrapment and chaos, potentially leading to relationship issues, financial entanglements, or even health problems. One man shared his experience with ivy. He had hung an ivy plant in his living room, thinking it added character to the space. Over time, he noticed his relationships becoming increasingly strained, as if unresolved tensions were creeping into every interaction. After learning about the symbolic weight of ivy, he decided to remove it. Not only did the atmosphere in his home improve, but he also noticed a renewed sense of clarity and peace in his personal life. Now, this doesn't mean ivy is inherently bad. When grown outdoors, especially along walls or fences, it can serve as a protective barrier, shielding your home from external negativity. But indoors, its energy can be overwhelming and disruptive. If you love the look of ivy, opt for artificial alternatives or confine it to an outdoor space where its symbolism aligns better with protection rather than entanglement. As we wrap up our list, the final two plants may challenge some of the most popular decorating trends. Are you ready for the surprising conclusions? Section 7. Plant 6. Artificial plants, and Plant 7. Overgrown or neglected plants. Plant #6. Artificial plants. The illusion of life. Artificial plants might seem like the perfect solution for those who lack a green thumb. They're low maintenance, never die, and always look picture perfect. But from a spiritual perspective, artificial plants are a big no-no for your home. Why? Because they represent a false sense of life. Buddhist teachings emphasize authenticity in everything, from our actions to the objects we surround ourselves with. Artificial plants might mimic the beauty of nature, but they lack the vitality, growth, and energy that real plants bring. This absence of life energy can stagnate the atmosphere, creating a hollow, lifeless feeling in your home. Here's an example. A woman I once met loved decorating her home with artificial greenery. At first glance, her house seemed vibrant and full of life, but she often complained about feeling emotionally drained, uninspired, and disconnected. A Buddhist practitioner advised her to replace the artificial plants with a few real ones. She did, and the change was profound. The act of nurturing living plants brought her a newfound sense of purpose and joy. The lesson here is simple. Even if you can only manage one real plant, it's better than filling your home with lifeless replicas. If you must use artificial plants, keep them as minimal accents rather than focal points, and balance them with real, thriving greenery. Plant 7. Overgrown or neglected plants, chaos in the garden. Finally, let's talk about overgrown or neglected plants. You might think that the mere presence of greenery is enough to bring positive energy, but that's not the case. Plants that are unkempt, overgrown, or left to wither reflect chaos and imbalance. In Buddhist philosophy, your home is an extension of your inner world. A neglected plant symbolizes neglect in other areas of your life, whether it's your relationships, finances, or personal well-being. Similarly, overgrown plants can signal a lack of boundaries or control, potentially leading to overwhelming emotions or circumstances. Consider this story. A family I know had a stunning indoor garden, but they allowed the plants to grow wild and untamed. While their home was filled with greenery, it also felt cluttered and chaotic. The disarray mirrored their personal lives, with unresolved conflicts and disorganization at every turn. After trimming, pruning, and restoring order to their plants, they noticed an immediate shift in their home's energy and in their relationships. Caring for plants isn't just about aesthetics. It's a symbolic act. It shows mindfulness, discipline, and respect for the life you've invited into your space. By keeping your plants healthy, trimmed, and vibrant, you're cultivating a harmonious environment that reflects abundance and well-being. Conclusion: transforming your home, one plant at a time. Your home is more than just a physical space. It's a sanctuary where energy flows and life unfolds. Every object, including the plants you choose to keep, plays a role in shaping this energy. Buddhist teachings remind us that what we surround ourselves with reflects and influences our inner world. By removing these 7 plants, cactus, bonsai, cotton, dead or dying plants, ivy, artificial plants, and overgrown or neglected greenery, you're not just making aesthetic changes. You're creating a space that invites prosperity, harmony, and growth. Let this serve as a gentle reminder. The plants in your home are more than decorations. They're silent companions shaping the energy of your space. Choose them wisely, tend to them with care, and let their vitality inspire your own growth. Take a walk through your home today. Look at the plants you've chosen to keep and ask yourself, are they bringing the energy I want in my life? If not, it might be time for a change, a small step toward a brighter, more abundant future. And there you have it, a complete exploration of the 7 plants you should remove from your home based on Buddhist teachings. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with one last thought. Your home is your sanctuary, and together we've uncovered some powerful ways to make it a haven of peace, positivity, and prosperity. If you found this journey insightful, inspiring, or even just a little entertaining, I'd love to keep the conversation going with you. This channel is all about sharing wisdom, practical tips, and eye-opening insights to help you live your best life. So, if you're ready to take more steps toward a brighter, more harmonious future, hit that subscribe button below. By subscribing, you're not just joining a channel, you're becoming part of a community that values growth, mindfulness, and abundance. And trust me, there's so much more to share. From energy tips for your home to fascinating lessons from ancient teachings, the journey is just getting started. Oh, and don't forget to tap the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when we release new videos. There's a world of wisdom waiting for you, and I'd be thrilled to have you along for the ride. So go ahead, click subscribe. Let's continue to transform not just our homes, but our lives, one step at a time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Till next time, namaste.